him years ago. He would drive me around if I needed drive. So no, 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 we never spoke. In fact, when Andre said to me, the very same driver could have picked me up from the airport, I said to him, no, 2 weeks before coming down, I made plans with my Juta tour driver to pick me up from the airport. He said, something you can cancel? I said, no, I don't do that to people. No, I will not cancel it. So I did not cancel it.
So
So
getting back to Saturday night into Sunday morning of the plan of going to Daniel Rose's funeral.
mhm. I'm sorry, go ahead, Wayne. I did not hear you.
No, I said get back into the planning of Saturday night going and to go into Daniel's Rose funeral Sunday.
Okay. So Saturday night, I basically stayed up most of the night. Sunday morning, I was up early because I did not get much sleep. About 6 a.m., I got a call from Andre. And Andre said to me, by the way, I forgot to tell you, it's blue you guys are wearing. Are you ready? I said, yes, I'm up. By that time, I gotten up, tried to take a shower, still nervous, just wanting to get out of the place because I was still alone and my girlfriend was coming from Montego Bay on the Monday. So I'm there by myself. So I said, yes, I'm ready. He said, we are going to pick you up at 9 o'clock. I said, no problem. He said, funeral starts at 10. I said, no problem. I'm ready when you are. He later called me back and said, Shernet, the driver is supposed to come and pick us up to take us to the funeral. I said, interesting. Because the driver just called me. And the driver said to me, so what are you guys doing today? I said, what do you mean? He said, what's the plan for today? I said, I don't know. You call Andre and ask Andre. Because by this time, I knew something was not right. So none of them were playing me. So I said, don't know. He said to me, I'm not having any communication with Andre. I said, that's interesting. So, because I'm saying to myself, Andre just told me like 5 minutes ago that you'll be picking us up for the funeral. That's what I said to myself. But I didn't tell him anything about the funeral because I'm like, listen, just in case this guy is not really affiliated with Andre, I don't want to tell him where I'm going so this guy will come and find me where I'm at. So let me just leave it as is. So I said, I don't know, you'd have to call Andre. He said to me, well, Andre is not saying anything. That's why I'm asking you. I said, but I don't know you. You're saying you work with Andre, you're Andre's security. How could you be Andre's security and it's taking you 2.5 hours, an hour and a half to 2 hours to get into Kingston? How is it that you, Andre, rented a car and gave you the rental car? You have that rental car that Andre's paying for every day, yet Andre doesn't have access to that car. You're in a different parish with that car. Does that make any sense to you, Wayne?
It wouldn't make any sense.
That Andre will be paying for a car?
How did you and Andre got to the funeral?
Andre kept calling around and said he could not find anything. Then he said he found an elder that was going to take us to the funeral. Then he showed up about 10:30, claiming that he was late because he had a difficult time finding a ride. He said it was an elder. When the person came with Andre to pick me up, it was a young guy. I looked at him, I said, this is not an elder. I walked up to the car, I greeted Andre like, hi, oh my God, I was so happy to, oh my God, I finally saw you. Andre said to me, get in the car. That was his tone, get in the car, Shernet, we're late. He was sitting in the front. He was all dressed in blue and white. I said, no problem. I jumped in the back seat of the car. The entire duration of the trip, we're now going from Kingston to Portmore. Andre was not communicating with me. He was communicating with the driver, which he made it very clear because his questions were directed at the driver. He would address him as driver and they would be talking. Andre had one communication with me. Andre turned and said to me, Shernet, did you see the ship that came in? The ship that went, they're going to Venezuela. I said to him, no. He said to me, yes, some ship came in. We had that one conversation. The entirety of the trip, he did not speak with me. But I started looking at him. I'm like, hold on. You are different. Meeting him in person, he was cold, calculated.
So there was when you met him, there was no rapport
and nothing.
The professor and the head girl.
No, he was almost robotic. He was no, he was honest to God. He was almost robotic. Nothing at all. He was almost like dismissive of the fact that you were there. I sat in the car. I sat watching his body language. He was in the front. I was in the back. We drove, went to Portmore. I don't know Portmore. I'm from Western Jamaica. He paid the driver. While in the car, sorry, he had two conversations because right before we got to where we were going, he said to me, Shernette, when we're pulling into the churchyard, he said, Shernette, the driver, Ryan, is coming to pick us up after the service. I'm using this driver to take us here because it's going to take an hour and a half for him to come and get us. However, after the service, he will be here to pick us up. We're going to go eat some fish and we're going to hang out. Don't worry, man. I said, no problem. We got out of the vehicle. He stood up. I stood up. We got out. He paid the driver. I went up and said, oh my God, you're so tiny. I thought you were bigger. Went in to give him a hug. Andre pulled back and just used one hand, pat me on my back and said to me, hold my bag. You're going to have to keep my bag. Went
We're
straight
going
into
to
the...
take a break, Sharnette.
Yes.
But when Global TV returns, we want to hear what happened at the funeral.
Not a problem.
Welcome back to Global TV. This evening we have with us the former head girl for Partner Draw TV is telling her story and is also demystifying the belligerent attacker. Tell the audience what happened at Daniela's funeral.
So when we got there, as I stated before, his father, Daniel LaRose's father, was up there speaking. There were two people, one standing to his right, one standing to his left. I did not know who he was. It was, again, I was standing outside. When I looked, I saw that Andre proceeded inside and Andre went right up to the front of the church, walking to the right. And he made his way to the front, started taking pictures and start recording, I assume. It's a very big church. It was the SDA, the Seventh-day Adventist Church. And I was standing outside in the broiling sun. I realized, oh my God, so he's going to leave me here with his bag. And I'm talking a big bag. I put my purse in the bag and I said, okay, I guess I'm going to have to find a seat. I went inside, found a seat. The church was packed by that time because we got there about an hour after the service had started. So I sat down. I asked anyone sitting here. I sat down. Fine. Andre did not even know where in the church I was sitting. Andre went, recorded what he needed to do, got his footage of whatever he needed to do. Then Andre proceeded to the left of the church where the family, the mother, the little girl's mother sides of the family was. And Andre went and sat with them. He sat there with them for about an hour and a half. At no time did he ever even say to me, I'm going to be at the front. He sat there for about an hour and a half. I was sitting at the back by myself. The whole incident, the whole outburst that went on, I was there at the back door because I got one of the very last seat. So I was seeing everything with the end that went on. And I remember saying to myself, oh my God, let the little girl rest in peace. It's so distasteful. I remember leaning forward, putting my head in my lap and like praying like, please God, this is not good. However, people are out there taking media shots, whatever they were doing. I kept the bag. After the incident occurred where the little girl, aunt and the whole blow up and whatever and the cussing out, about half an hour after that, Andre came up to me. So this would be about an hour and a half after we had gotten there. And he leaned over and he said to me, Shernette, take your things them out of my bag and give me my bag. I'm going outside to do some work. I said, oh, okay, sure. I went in, took my purse out, even forgot that I had my sunglasses. My sunglasses was still in there. I said, sure, took my purse out and gave him his bag. He walked, went to the side door. That's the last time I saw Andre. I never saw Andre again that day. I'm there sitting thinking Andre's outside doing some work. When it was very hot. It was about 40 degrees that
Let
day.
me ask you this, because there was a narrative on that very Sunday night given by Andre on his show after returning from the funeral that he was almost surrounded by police with arms. Did you see any incident of that taking place?
No, Wayne, and I'm getting there. So let me just get there. Because before that, Wayne, you've gone over a lot of stuff. You're way ahead of me. So when I gave him the bag, I didn't see him again. I wanted some water. I walked outside to get water
I
because
don't
it
know
was
if you know,
hot.
but your camera is on.
Oh, no, I did not know. Oh, camera. I went outside to get some water. When I went out to get the water, okay, camera. I don't know how to do it. Okay. When I went out to get the water, when I walked outside, I saw that Andre was missing. Andre was nowhere there to be found. I said to myself, hold on, where is Andre? What is going on here? So he said, so I looked up, I looked down, I looked everywhere, no Andre. I said, this is funny. I went back inside. Then later I said, okay, fine. I proceeded to go over to where I was sitting. I sat back. I wanted to go to the washroom. I asked the washroom, went to the washroom. While going to the washroom, my shoes broke. I'm still looking for Andre, no Andre. At the end of the night, I remember that the end of that evening, I remember getting outside because by this time the funeral is over. I'm running outside. I'm saying to myself, okay, Andre must be somewhere outside. There's no way Andre could not be here. If Andre's here, Andre will be there. Andre will be running around. Andre will be trying to get the final pictures. So I said to myself, you know what? Let me run outside, try to get the pictures, try to get Andre so we could leave with Andre. I went outside. I looked to the east, to the west, to the north, to the south. No Andre. Every single vehicle left the parking lot. The hearse was gone. The vehicles were gone. Everyone was gone. And I sent you a video, Wayne,
Before
of
you
me being.
continue, I'm going to play a video for the audience and then you pick up after the video.
Okay. Okay, so nobody's going to believe this. I'm actually recording. I'm not recording these ladies' face. I'm going to just record their lower body. These are the only ladies that are left here with me, waiting with me after the funeral. Your faces are not on it, sweetie. The church here that I came to is empty. Just a few people sitting inside, you can see. I came to the funeral. I was invited here. And person that invited me here apparently had emergency. So they came and took their bag and left me here by myself. Funeral is gone, funeral procession is gone, everybody's gone. And poor little old me, know nothing about Kingston, is stuck here. And I'm trying to, one of these ladies have called their own taxi to give me a ride because I am stuck. When I call the individual that I came with, they're telling me that they had to run because their grandmother had some form of emergency. They knew where I was sitting because I was holding their bag. They did not come back and say, let me take my bag and take you with me. So I don't want you to be a liability to me or whatever. They're telling me now they're going to send a taxi. They're not even coming in the taxi. They're going to send a taxi with a stranger to pick me up. So I decline and I will be heading back to the premises in which I'm staying. And that's it. But I am stuck here. And as you guys can see, nobody will believe me when I post this later. But here I am. Everything. And that's a funeral for the little girl that was slain, Daniela Rowe. And I am here. And I'm stuck. And I know nothing about Kingston to begin with. And this is Portmore. Apparently, it may be Greater Portmore, something like that I'm in. I don't even know where I'm at. But yeah, I'm here. And I'm stuck. Like, seriously, I'm here. And I'm stuck. Not a joke.
In the video,
Yeah.
you refer to the person. At no time you said it was Andre or the famous vlogger. Why would that be? Why didn't you say to any of the ladies there, I came with Andre from Partner Draw TV? Why would that? Why was that?
Loyalty. You try to protect people at all cost. And at that time, even though so much stuff was happening and nothing was adding up, I'm the type of person that likes to prove things above and beyond. I don't like to throw out accusation because even when he asked me to go to the funeral with him that night, I was like, should I? A voice is saying, don't go. Another voice is saying, it's the little girl, go. And I'm like, you know what? We've been covering this topic for so long. Let me go. So it was loyalty because I did not want anyone to start running with the narrative. Oh my God, he brought her to Jamaica and left her. So I was still trying to cover for Andre. So that was just basically total loyalty. So when I got there and realized and took that video, I borrowed one of the ladies' phone and asked them if I could call him because I did not even get around to getting a chip to put in my phone. So my phone only works if I have Wi-Fi. So at that time I said to myself, listen, I need to get, before these ladies left, you can see it was only the ushers that were there. Asked, they
Yeah.
loaned me their phone. I called Andre. When I called Andre, he said to me, are you at the church? Where do you expect me to be? I don't know, Kingston. This is where you brought me and left me. He said, okay, Shernette, don't worry. I'm sending you a ride right away. I had to run because my grandmother took ill and she's critical and I had to run, come take care of my grandmother. I said to him, but why did you take me with you? I came with you. When you came for your bag, why did you just take your
Sorry,
bag and not, because you got all the footage from the funeral
your
you needed?
signal sometimes comes and go. Your signal is
Okay,
coming
one
and going.
moment. Let me try. Okay, let me try this. So I said to him, can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So I said to Andre, I said at that time, I said, okay, I know my camera is on, but I guess something is wrong with my mic. I said at that time, listen, like, why didn't you take me? When I called him, he said, I'm at my grandmother. My grandmother got very sick and I had to leave. It's an emergency. I'm there. I responded, why didn't you take me with you? I don't know Kingston. I don't know Portmore. You brought me here. So why didn't you take me when you came and took your bag? He said, I know I should have taken you, but I'm going to send a driver to pick you up now. Then he proceeded to say, the driver will take you to some place. I forget the name of the place, and I will meet you there. I said, okay, fine. I hang the phone up. Wayne,
Would
the minute
this have been his security detail / driver?
at that time, I did not know. So the minute I hang the phone up, I was still standing in the church doorway. Something hit me and said to me, Shernette, who is Andre sending to pick you up? Is it the driver? Who is this driver? Is he going to be in the vehicle? Are you going to be getting into the vehicle by yourself? Do not let anyone take you from point A to point B. They're going to take you to some place. Where's that some place? So I did not want to bother the ladies again to borrow their phone. But while standing in the church door, I had this smell that came over me, almost like back in the days when I was a child and they used to embalm those body, that smell that was in the church. And it was just in my nostril and I could not move. And I said, where did this smell come from? I know it's a funeral, but I've been here all day since like 11 o'clock. Now it's 3:30 almost. And it's the first time I'm smelling this. So I stepped outside. When I stepped outside, the smell became like in my nostril, like it was stifling me. I moved away from in front of the church, moved off to the side. And I heard like water, like when somebody is diving into water, I hear like water going into my ears, almost to a point where I was blocking out and the smell was just all over me. And something said, call him back. I walked back to the ladies and I said, excuse me, borrow their phone, called him. He said, is the driver there yet? I said, no. I said, are you going to be in the vehicle coming? He said, no. Is it the driver, your security detail / driver, the one that you rented the car in? He said, no, it's not him. So I said, so who are you sending to pick me up? He said, don't worry, the person will be there soon. I said to him, do not send the driver. I'm not getting in that car. He started yelling, what are you talking about? I already said the driver.
What was Andre mode at that point?
Yelling. What are you talking about? I'm already sent the driver. What are you talking about? The driver is already on his way. I said, call him off. I am not getting into that vehicle. And the reason why, remember the Sunday morning on our way to, I'm sorry?
One moment, just one moment. To the audience, the software I'm using doesn't give me access to Shernette camera to turn it off. So I don't have access to turn Shernette camera.
I don't know why I can't turn the camera off. Oh, it's off now. Perfect.
It's off now. Don't touch it again. Continue your explanation now.
It's actually not off. It looks as if it's off, but it's not. Is it?
It's off.
Okay.
It's off on our side now.
Perfect. So Andre at that time started yelling, telling me, no, I'm sending the driver. I'm sending the driver. Driver is on its way. I said, no, call off your driver because I'm not getting into the vehicle. The ushers, as you see all the ladies sitting there waiting for me to be picked up because I'm the only person left there, they said to me, who did you come with? Who did you come with? I declined. They were like, who is this person? One of the ladies responded, I saw who she came with. I don't know if she was bluffing. So I pretended that as if I did not hear anything. I did not respond to them. I said to them, please find me a ride. Remember, hungry, no breakfast, one foot of shoes. The other one is broken. I said, find me a ride. So they found me a ride. They were calling around. I said to them, not a young person, an older person, please. I need an old person to take me back to the unit. By that time, I hang up on Andre and I'm like, no. He said, you don't understand, but my grandmother was sick. That's why I had to leave you. I said, Andre, even if your grandmother's house was in deplorable condition, what you should have done is taken me in the taxi that you were going in. And what you should have done is had the taxi drop you at your grandmother's place and had the taxi drop me back to where I was staying. You don't bring me to somewhere and leave me here and then you're sending, no, I will not get in the taxi, and I hang the phone up. The driver, later on, the Seventh-day Adventist from Portmore, they got a driver. He was actually cooking. His name is Country. That's why I was bigging up Country earlier. He came, turned his stove off. They begged him to pick me up. He drove me down to a jelly stand, got me jelly, asked me if I needed anything else because by that time, it's about 3:30. My head is killing me. I'd had nothing to eat. The sun is hot other than the water I drank. And he took me back to Portmore. From Portmore to Kingston, where I was staying in Beverly Hills. I think that's where it was called up there. So I messaged Andre and I said, I am home. I'm back to the apartment safely. He called me. When he called me, the background, I was listening for the background. The background Andre was calling me from was the
When he
exact same.
called you when you got home, did he apologize, give
No,
further explanation or
no,
anything?
no. He just
What
said
did
his
he?
grandmother was sick, very sick, and he had to go. No, no. And at that time, I did not
And
want to
what was
speak.
the conversation he had with you after that? After you got home?
Shortly after that, I got contacted by his driver. His driver called me. But what was so surprising, the driver that he said was in another parish, never made it into Kingston, was not able to pick us up. The driver knew everything about what was about to happen. The driver started yelling and screaming at me, thinking, oh, no, people come down from foreign. What do you people think you are? The man said to get in a vehicle. You come talk about, want to get into a vehicle. I was like, what? He just started blowing up on me. I ended the conversation and I blocked him that very same evening. I called Andre back and I said, Andre, I have some stuff I brought for one of your recipients on your program. Please send me the recipient's information. So I will, because I was supposed to be in Kingston for 9 days. Send me the recipient, and this is now day 3. Send me the recipient information. I'm going to give them their stuff because I said tomorrow morning, as soon as my girlfriend gets in, which is the Monday morning, we're leaving Kingston. That's what I said to myself. I said, I'm not staying
Why
here.
did you take that decision? Why did you take that decision that Monday morning I'm out of Kingston?
Because I realized I was not safe. How is it that the driver that was in another parish, an hour and a half to 2 hours away, knew what took place at the funeral, knew I did not get into the vehicle, knew everything, yet that driver was not there? Who was the
So
driver
are
Andre
you
was sending?
thinking Andre was lying about the driver he was sending to pick you up after the funeral, after he left you stranded for hours?
I know there was some lie because Wayne, in the morning on our way to the funeral, he was having a hard time finding a drive for us to go to the funeral that he had already pre-planned. How is it that on a slap of a dime, when I said to him I was still at the church, he was able to find a driver immediately? The very next thing that came out of his mouth, I'm sending you a driver. I'm not stupid. Where did that driver come from? And when I called him and asked him, is this the driver that you said you rented that you rented the car and gave to? Is this a driver that was supposed to pick me up since Friday? He said no. So who was the driver? Where did the car
Would
come
it be
from?
fair to say then that based on how things unfold, could one suggest that Andre was planning something quite devious at the time, but in planning is being careful to keep himself distant from you should his plan break through?
I know he was. I was convinced he was. And because he could not get me, his only way was thinking, get me to Portmore, get me to the funeral, distance himself from me even at the funeral. Because remember, I'm at the funeral. The only thing he did was left me with his bag outside, and he came back and took his bag and he was gone. Then he could say I got into a vehicle, he was not there. There would be no camera footage of Andre being there. There would have been no camera footage of Andre being in a vehicle that's coming to pick me up. They could have easily put any license plate on that vehicle. I would have just disappeared. And it would just be, I don't know where she went or whatever. Even if they said I went to the funeral with him, he would have proof that, look, I left the funeral by myself. I did not leave with her. I don't know where she is and where she went. So I knew something sinister was happening at that time. I was convinced that something was happening. Way too much coincidence at that time. So he sent me the recipient's information. When he sent it to me, I contacted the recipient and I said to her, she can come today. She was questioning who I was. I said, call Andre and find out. However, long story short, she came over. When she came over, I said to her the Sunday night, I did not tell her anything about what was happening. I said to her, hi, greeted her, blah, blah, blah. 2 people came over. I gave her the stuff. She sat there and she started trying on the stuff.
I just want to clear